All right, so we have another question here. It says a function of x is defined by the following equation, y equals 5x plus 12. And it's asking us to determine which object or term in this equation is the independent variable. Well, when we're talking about variables, almost every variable I've ever seen has been a letter. So of these four answers, I'm going to presume that 12 and 5 are not possible answers. So even if I'm not sure which of these items, the x or the y, is the independent variable, at least I've cut my chances down to a 50-50 shot here. And that, believe it or not, can be very helpful on your test. I mean, the odds originally were 25% if I was guessing, and now it's down to 50-50. But I actually do know this one, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about independent versus dependent variables. In this equation, y equals 5x plus 12. You're used to seeing this equation, and this equation represents a line. If you were to graph this equation on a coordinate plane, it would represent a line. And one of the things that you were taught when you'd write an equation like this is you can graph it by creating a table. So the table would look like this. You'd draw a table like this, and then you'd have an x column. Remember this? You guys probably remember this. That's supposed to be an x. And you'd have a y column, and you'd randomly pick values in the x column. Let me put in like 0, 1, and 2. And when you replaced the x in your equation with these numbers, it would give you a particular y. So if I replace the x with a 0, 5 times 0 plus 12, that would give you a 12 for your y. And if I replace the x with a 1, 5 times 1 plus 12, that gives you 17. And if I replaced it with a 2, 5 times 2 plus 12, that gives you 22. And you could literally replace that x with any number, and it would give you a y. Well, if you think about what we're doing here, we are creating a situation where y, the value of y, is completely dependent upon whatever we plug in for x. So if y is dependent upon x, then y must be your dependent variable. And if y is the dependent variable, then that would make x the independent variable. So in this expression, y equals 5x plus 12, x is your independent variable. I explained